One of my most recent experiences dealing with the paranormal in the house was during a TV film shoot where at the end of the evening, when only one of my colleagues and I were alone in the house, I distinctly heard a female voice ask me if everything was okay, knowing that I was the only female in the house.
We had a book rack for children's books, for coloring books and whatnot along the wall. And again, I'm at my desk and I'm doing some work, and all of a sudden, books start to just fall on their own, which to me is no big deal because that happens all the time. But it was the way they were falling, because normally books would fall from the top and bring everything down. These books were falling from the bottom and coming to the top. So the last book to fall was on the top.
The opinion of paranormal hauntings of the house. The previous administration viewed it as denigrating the history of the house, and also that we as a staff shouldn't talk about it. I feel that we should be very open about it and tell people factual information that we know.
As far as addressing ghosts and when people ask about it when they visit, I really kind of tailor it based on if they're coming in looking for historical aspects of the home, it's not going to be brought up. If they're coming in and specifically saying, I saw something on TV or on YouTube or something, then yeah, then I'm going to tailor it to where we'll talk about some of those stories of what other people have seen or rumored to have happened here. So it really is more of a tailored experience that we try to impart here, but it's not something that we're just going to come and say, hey, welcome to the Morris Jumel Mansion, and we have ghosts.
So we address questions from guests about ghosts that they are an additional story of the mansion, that we feel that we probably are haunted, but we leave it up to guests to form their own conclusions. This year is the 250th anniversary of the mansion, so we've done some site-specific plays in the past, none that have been specifically written and commissioned by the mansion, and we felt that it was very important to do something like that for the 250th anniversary of the museum.
So I began writing the show by coming to the mansion, and I met with Emily, the archivist, and she gave me a stack of letters and newspaper articles dating back to the mid-60s that people had submitted to the mansion requesting information about the supposed paranormal activities here, because back then there was no email, so people had to write or call in. So I just went through those, reading them. I had no preconceived notions as to what I really wanted to do. And in reading them, certain themes and characters, such as Aaron Burr, Eliza and Stephen Jamel, Hans Holzer, the parapsychologist from the 60s and 70s, these people kept resurfacing, as well as certain stories and themes. So that combined with my pre-existing knowledge of theater and verbatim theater, I decided that a great way to convey not only the history of the building, but also the supposed paranormal history of the building would be to incorporate these letters in the play itself.
This play is different than most things that I work on because it really takes a part of the place that it's set in. It's almost like the main character of the show.
It's a remarkable experience to perform in the house of the character that I'm playing. For one thing, her portrait hangs in the hallway where I do some acting of the part. I look at her and look at her again and wonder if I can really bring this lady, or even the ghost of this lady, to life for the audience. But at the same time, I myself feel close to her because I am seeing her fireplace, her bed, her desk, her clock, her furniture, her hangings, and somehow all this makes me feel close to a lady who, after all, lived in a summer house that is now part of my neighborhood.
This show is different because it brings the audience along for a ride with you. They are physically moving around this mansion with me as I investigate these letters that I found, and so it's really immersive, and I feel like they are getting the same sort of experience and going along for the same sort of thrill ride that I am, and so there's more of a direct connection with the audience than anything I've ever done before.
For me, as a playwright, it was important to not only speak to the factual history of the building, all of the political and historical events that have taken place here, but also honor all the things that people have, the personal experiences that people have had, and not give an answer, a definite, as to whether or not the building is haunted or not whether or not if Eliza Jumel did in fact assist in her husband's passing, but just provide the information for the audience to then take that information and come to their own conclusion.
The other side of it is that there are real people that lived here. And as stories go around the world, you will find haunted aspects to older properties, whether it's here in New York or Japan or anywhere. So the fact is, if it exists, it exists. And it's just about melding the two together versus denying one aspect or another aspect. We are not just a historical house. We're also not just a haunted house. It's actually a whole myriad of things that kind of make the Morris Jumel Mansion unique.
I think someone's going to be pleasantly surprised by how taken back they are.
I think we hope to accomplish a couple things with this play this year. I think we hope to increase our visibility as an institution and get the word out there that we are open to outside of the box things for a historic house, and also hopefully open up the doors to other playwrights being interested in presenting their work at the mansion.
I'd like to accomplish, showing people a side of the building that they may not be familiar with, whether it be some of the historical events or some of the paranormal experiences. A lot of people are surprised to find out certain things on either end, and if we can do that, it might open their mind to other possibilities. Also, too, I'd like to incorporate a wider community that may not have otherwise been here before. And that could be, various ages, various walks of life. And if you think about it, that's kind of what the mansion stands for now, is trying to incorporate various communities here at this historical location.